Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Intel Challenge Katowice. We are here and it's finals time. That means one thing, two teams battling it out to take home that all-important title and of course a share of that $30,000 that's on the line. They've battled it out today, so it's time to get underway. Let's take a look at our first finalist, CMStorm.
For the Intel Challenge, we prepared very well with online bootcamps, online female tournaments, and we're looking forward to get the title. We are motivated to get the title because this is the biggest female tournament at all this year, and we are really focused and we are fighters and we're going to beat our enemies.
I prefer to play the finals against United because we never had the chance before to play against them, and this will be something new for us.
We know our opponents are pretty strong, but we have prepared well, so we are not scared to go into the matches.
We are CMStorm, and we are ready for the title.
Katowice, please, Wielkie brawa for CMStorm! Kelly V, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really great and I'm really happy.
I'm sure you are. This is awesome to be here. Now, today's been a pretty big day for you guys. You've had a, let's just check this, a 2-0 victory against the Polish favorites. What was that like?
Well, it was like really good because we played really well. We were really prepared how they played. We watched some demos and stuff like that. And we had really good luck with the map, so it was okay. Excellent.
Now you're up against BMG. How do you feel against them? Did you watch them play the UB United team?
Yeah, we watched them and we noticed some stuff how they played, so we will focus on those things. And it will be really excited to play against us, against them, because we didn't won one map against them yet. So yeah, I hope they will be surprised how we play now.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the very best of luck. You'll definitely have the crowd on your side. Guys, please join your team. Oh,
can I say my greetings?
A shout out? Of course you can.
Okay, I want to say thanks to our team coach, Nathan, and to our sponsor, CMStorm, our team, CMStorm.
Super, super.
One more thing. And I want to thank Intel for this big event.
A round of applause for Intel for this event. Excellent. Please join your team and prepare. Now, of course, we're not just going to let them walk away with that coveted title. They're going to have to take somebody on. And that team is none less than BMG.
We are Bad Monkey Gaming. We have been playing for 2 years together now, and now we are here in Katowice trying to take the title.
This is actually, for two of us, not our first visit to Poland. We've been here before some years ago, playing another tournament. And this event, it's been great. I mean, it's one of the biggest events of the year, and we're very pleased to be here. In the qualifier, we lost our first match against 3D Mask, which is a French team who won ESWC last year. And we kind of expected that because we were playing with Sonia, who wasn't active in the lineup, and we played without Sass. And but we managed to get through in the next matches, and we end up winning 3D Max again and getting our spot here. We are Bad Monkey Gaming, and we came here to win.
Katowice, please join me with Wielkie brawa for Bad Monkey Gaming. Hello, Zaz. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now, you guys have just had a victory over United. How was that?
Awesome.
Awesome because you had an ace in that game?
Maybe, but no, of course not. Awesome because we won.
Excellent. Now, you're going to go up against CMStorm. Are you familiar with the girls?
We've been watching them play, but not that much. So we're just going to play our own game.
Playing your own game. And how's the tournament been for you so far?
Great, even if it's only one day playing here. But yeah, great.
Excellent. Well, guys, please put your hands together for your two finalists. Zaz, please join your team. Get ready. Guys, one more time. Put your hands together for our finalists. Now, as the teams get ready, that means only one thing. It's time to hand off to the guys who know everything. And I can spy from over here that my good friend, Machine, is one of them.
Thanks very much, Sean. I'm actually joined by Hiko. We just got back from the main stage where we brought that final to a close. It was a great one, and we're now going to be bringing you guys the grand final in this Intel Challenge. It's going to be a good one, Hiko, and I mean, what's exciting to me is that I haven't seen these guys play before. I have no kind of preconceptions on how this is going to play out. And I'm intrigued, of course, first, as I need to remind myself, actually, wait a second, how Cash is going to be going down. That is, of course, our first map.
Yeah, I think for most teams, the thing about Cash is always getting mid-control. Whether you're T or CT, if you're able to hold middle and you're able to actually use middle to rotate fast to A, rotate fast to B, you can go through CT spawn as a T side. You're actually able to cut off every close quarter of the map, and the more control on Cash you actually have, the better your half will actually go.
And so while we have some time, let's take a quick look at the rosters of these two teams, and we can do a roster rundown for those of you at home that are unfamiliar. First up, of course, BMG. We have Giuliano, Sonia, Zaz, Irene, and Vilga. I know, Hiko, you know some of these guys.
I do. These females have been to a lot of the events that I've actually been to. ESWC, Copenhagen Games, Giuliano, Sonia, Zaz, they've been around for a long time. Zaz has been probably considered one of the best female players that there actually is. Also, Sonia, I think she actually took a break. She planned on quitting after ESWC. She came back. Very good opper. Excited to see what they have here.
Yeah, and of course, where would they be without their opponent? It's time to look at the other roster for CMStorm. And now this is a roster that I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform. I think it's 4 Germans and a Belgian. And we have Shifty, Queen, Ivy, Faith, and Kelly V. Take my time with that one. Just missing that E completely threw me off. But of course, we're going to be jumping into this one very shortly. And I think it's safe to say that they've got their game ready to go. I spoke to the girls just before, and actually they were willing to come and talk about the UB4. Not UB40 game, that's UB90 game. And so I think they're very keen to just talk about CS, get involved in CS, kind of submerge themselves in the CS scene. And this is such a great opportunity to see the girls competing for, of course, that huge prize pot of 30,000.
Yeah, I think this is probably the biggest female tournament we've actually ever seen in CSGO. So definitely not something to just shy off, like it's nothing. Big event for the females, and obviously they get a chance to come play in Poland against 3 of the other great female teams that they have. So it's pretty exciting for them.
And on your screens now, you see Zaz really performing out of her mind recently. I think I've got some statistics for you. She's been rocking a 47% headshot ratio during her career, as well as I think her team has actually ranked 1 so far in the scene. So she's really her kind of at the forefront of that. I think she was performing. I was talking to Lee just after the previous game, and he was saying that, I mean, Zaz is kind of leading the way, paving the way for the female CS teams and female individuals. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how she performs as well as her team.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, Zaz is considered the best female player there is. I know a lot of people actually think that if there's a female that has a chance to make it in the male scene, it is Zaz. So just kind of something to point out there.
And that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing from them. And I mean, the results, there's a whole lot more results for BMG than there is for CMStorm. In fact, one of the few results posted from CMStorm is that best of 3 up against Alstom. Of course, they bested them 2-0. I think they played on Mirage and Overpass. So that's kind of exciting to see the new maps being brought in as well from the, well, to be fair, I don't actually know who selected it, but either way, the fact that the CMStorm were willing to play Overpass, that kind of excites me because we've seen actually quite a few custom maps in the main tournament over the past 4 days, and so I'm actually really intrigued to see how much we see of that. We actually saw a whole lot of Cobble as well, and so your thoughts on the custom maps in general, Cobble and Overpass?
I actually like both of them. They take a lot of practice. You actually need to know a lot of smokes and Molotovs and flashes to actually execute effectively. You see a lot of pre-smokes, a lot of cool boosts that I've never seen before coming into this tournament. So yeah, I think if either team actually feels comfortable on the customs, then they definitely have practiced, the intricate smoke executes with the Molotovs and everything. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Yeah,
and I mean, I'm seeing some kind of complementary map choices in the previous games. We saw a Mirage again, so that's 2 Mirages already. Cash was selected and actually won out by Yubin. And of course, Inferno was the final map in the BMG game. So I'm not really sure what to expect in this first map, Cash.
Oh yeah, obviously it's worth mentioning BMG actually beat United to advance to the finals, which is definitely a fan favorite. I think they won like 6 or 7 ESWCs in a row, going 3 years or 2 years back. So obviously my USA
your American
sisters,
Eagles, yeah.
My American Eagles with me, unfortunately didn't make it here. But again, they are a good team, BMG, and as I said, I think they will prove that they are the best team there is here.
Something else I think is worth mentioning while I have you here is about the idea that they mentioned on stage where they haven't done too much research into what to expect from these girls. Instead, they've basically focused on their own game. And I know, is there some teams that do that, or is that kind of a bit of a risky strategy to approach tournaments with? I'm
not into actual female scene works. I know there's a lot of disparity between different countries. Usually, if you have a small scene like the females do, it's not worth it a lot of the time to actually play against the other female teams to show your strategies and how you play. So it could be that. Obviously, if CMStorm was able to beat the Polish favorites, then maybe they actually are a good team and they just kind of went under the radar and BMG maybe overlooked them.
It's certainly possible, and of course this is going to be a best of 3. I only highlighted the first map. It's time to talk a little bit about how the vetoes went down. So since we can't show you them, I'll let you know that CM opted to veto D2, and we saw BMG opting to take out Overpass. So that actually conflicts with the suggestion I was thinking maybe we were going to see some customs. Of course, Cobble is still in the mix, so that's something we could be seeing. And the other picks, of course, we are going to be seeing Nuke as map number 2, with Inferno and Cobblestone then removed, and Mirage was the final one. So we have our 3 maps. It's going to be Cash first, Nuke for the second, and Mirage as that decider if we need it. And I mean, both teams have played on Mirage, so BMG takes 16-8 up against the United in their game. And in the CMStorm Alston game, it was 16-5. So both of these teams have posted good results on Mirage. However, the rest we know slightly less about. In fact, the only thing really to talk about for Cash was Bad Monkey Gaming, or BMG, actually getting bested by United 69 on this very map.
Yeah, 69 is a pretty, that's a pretty big scoreline for Cash. I think. I don't think BMG is, maybe they're not prepared, or maybe that's one of the maps that they just don't want to play. And obviously, maybe that actually was CMStorm's pick. It would make sense, obviously. And just looking at the vetoes, it looks like CMStorm actually did ban out 2 of the normal maps, Dust 2 and Inferno. Or, yeah, Dust 2 and Inferno. So that says to me, maybe they realize they're the underdog coming in, and they're trying to force BMG to play the actual custom maps, and maybe they can get a random win if they actually are the lower skill team.
Rock and roll. I mean, the thing about the choice, or sorry, the elimination of Dust 2 is a map I always consider to be a map that can basically be considered as quite a level map. Everyone that plays CS, male, female, whatever, knows D2 inside and out. It's been around for forever, and so I'm kind of intrigued to know why a team would opt to take it away, unless they know BMG are just going to be on another level on it.
Right. I think, usually if you are a lower skill team, you do drop the normal maps that the teams have been playing forever. Obviously, BMG has been around for a long time. They have the chemistry. They probably have the strategies. So it's not that surprising to me. It's definitely a tactic used in the male scene as well. Drop the normal maps, or the American maps as I like to call them.
DE America.
And maybe try to force the other team to play the more custom, the maps that if they didn't put the time in, it will be hard for them to go on the fly. And obviously, if CMStorm practice those custom maps, then we can obviously definitely see a upset here.
Yeah, and talking of upsets, Nuke, a map we saw a whole lot earlier this week, and it's a map that every single time we see it, we're expecting that really strong CT side, or CT result. Of course, the other kind of the side note of that, which is an interesting discussion I was having with some players, is that with the presence of the Tech 9 and the power of the Tech 9, the T side should have some advantage somewhere. Of course, Nuke is quite a long-distance map, which is where the Tech 9 can fall off, but do you still see that with the presence of such a strong pistol, there is the potential to pick up T rounds more so than before?
I think actually if you look at the male tournament, I don't believe so. Most of the teams only had 2 or 3 rounds on the terrorist side, other than NIP, who managed to win 8 randomly.
Yes, somehow.
So definitely, Nuke is one of those maps, if the CTs win pistol round and they are successful on the next 2 eco rounds, you see them a lot of times get mollies, pre-smokes everywhere, and it's very, very hard to actually win any rounds on T side. At this point, it's usually considered a buffer, any rounds on T side, so that just in case you lose pistol, you do have something you can fall back on.
Yeah, those pistol rounds are certainly kind of necessary on Nuke. But of course, there is a third map, and we're going to talk about that one now for just a little bit. Mirage is that one, and it's a map that whenever I see, I always feel like teams either love it or they hate it. It's kind of the Marmite of CSGO. I think it's some teams so very strong on it, and I'm intrigued to know your thoughts on Mirage as a whole, as a map. Strategy-based, CT-sided. Let me know.
I think something we talked on earlier yesterday was actually European teams seem to, every team seems to play Mirage. Everybody has all the smokes. The one thing that's interesting about Mirage, though, is that it is a pretty dominant op map. So I know BMG has Sonia, who is their dedicated operator, and she is very good with it. So if CMStorm doesn't have a way of locking her down, and they don't have a way of actually smoking off all the the normal spots, middle, connector, and they're trying to take long battles against a very good operator, they might run into a brick wall.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at the flags, of course. It's something that I'm sure it's been mentioned before, but I find it really interesting that BMG, you've got 2 Swedes, two Spanish flags, and of course a Russian. That's a crazy mix. I assume they must be communicating in English, and so with the American teams, you don't seem to have you rarely have the issue where there's a difficulty communicating. Whereas in the EU, it kind of does occur somewhat regularly. I mean, you look at NIP at the moment; they have that Finnish presence with Alu, and they are currently communicating. And I think Alu is taking Swedish classes and he's learning, but Finnish kind of understand it. So what's your thoughts on how this is going to play out? Because, I mean, BMG, they're a very strong side. Everyone will agree on that. They've posted some fantastic results previously. In fact, even before the best of 3, we saw them beat the UB90 16-14 on Inferno way back, as well as, of course, the 3D Max side, which actually managed to take them down 2-1. So in their preparation for this one, they posted kind of hit and miss results. And so going into this one, my question to you is, does having to communicate in a second language, do you think that's going to play a part in how these teams perform?
I think normally it would, but I know Irene and Zaz have actually played together for years, maybe even pushing 10 years now.
Wow.
So I don't think that's a huge thing. And looking at it, it looks like you have 2 kind of cliques, then the odd men out. You have the 2 Swedes, the 2 Spanish girls, and then you have the one from Russian. I know Vilga actually wasn't on the team before this event, so maybe we'll see some chemistry problems. Obviously, they were able to beat UB United pretty astonishingly, so I don't think it's going to affect them.
So we're about to find out. You can see the notebook there on her desk for the CMStorm player. Just going to be maybe jotting down some notes in preparation for this one. Of course, I will re-highlight that it's going to be Cash that we're jumping into for map 1. And I mean, I think I'd love to know the T and CT sides. I don't know if I can get that in my ear to know who's going to be starting where, or if they're going to be knifing for sides. It's a very important start for Cash, of course. Hiko, if you could maybe give me some insight into what side is, or what to expect on both the T and CT side.
So, like most maps in CSGO in its current state, almost every map is actually CT-sided. You'll see a lot of times teams with an opera will push their opera in middle. try to shut down middle with the op. A lot of times, though, also, if the opper does like to get aggressive, they'll push A, they'll push B, get that early pick, fall back, and play like a more default setup. Doing that obviously lets you stack middle, and as I said, Cash is a very, very middle-based map. Once the CT start getting Molotovs and smokes, it's very hard to hold.
Okay, I have been told it is going to be knife round, so we get to see some knives brought in, and I think it's been a long time since I saw a knife round. I think the last time I did a knife round was way, way back. We was with Lauren, and she was telling me that whenever she did it with good old Red Eye, he used to force him to do accents. So I say, you do an American accent, and I'll do an English one during this knife round. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
Oh, okay. I've been working on mine for about 21 years.
I've been working on mine for about 25 years now.
Oh, okay. So let's smash that as the knife round does commence. Of course, you already highlighted just the what to expect on both the T and CT side. You said already that the CT side is the preferred one, or it should be anyway, unless maybe you want to surprise them in a best of 3 by kind of the NIP idea of just knowing how much you have to work back on that CT side. Already, though, blood has been drawn. It's actually a 1v1 stab away each, and it's going to be Vilga to pick that one up for Bad Monkey Gaming. Can only assume they're going to choose to stay on that CT side as we kick this one off. They're laughing about it. They seem to be having a good time, and they are opting to stay.
Not surprising. As I said, definitely a CT-sided map. Definitely a good choice. If they get a big lead going out early and they're able to win 12-3, 13-2, it could just snowball from there. I mean, it's very hard emotionally to not get down yourself when you get a huge lead. Especially if they win the first BO3 really badly, it might get in the other team's head.
It certainly could. 10 seconds until we kick off into map number 1, Hiko, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what these girls can deliver. I hope you guys at home are just as excited as we are about to jump into game 1 in this best of 3 in the grand final of the Intel Challenge Katowice. And here we go. Straight off the bat, I'm going to be starting with the BMG side and see how they choose to structure that CT side. You can see already the buys are bought, and actually, we look at that, we've seen a PT50 and a whole lot of nades on the side of CMStorm.
Yeah, I think usually when you have that many smokes, you're going out A, and it looks like they are headed towards there. I'm expecting the 2 normal smokes, 1 for highway, 1 maybe to block quad or to block up top. And I mean, it looks like they are getting ready to execute right now.
Yeah, and for the CTs, just actually a single incendiary in the hands of Giuliano. Interested to see how that one pays off, but here they come. They're charging into one of the sides. Zaz trying to draw blood. She does. She's looking for a second as well. Gets it. Oh, it's murder. It's a triple. It's finally shut down by, I believe it's Shifty, as she returns with a double, and now 2v2. Level play. Tell a lie. It's actually 3v2 as the hunt begins. You can see the flash comes out. Oh, and all of a sudden, CTs rain in with the remaining frags, and it's an easy first round for BMG.
Yep, nicely played by Zaz. She held the quad area, didn't peek too early, waited for them all to already get in the site. Having the silent USP, they had no idea where they all were getting shot from. She was able to get 3 headshots pretty fast, and as you said, very easy round for BMG.
And of course, we're going to be seeing that pistol armor buy-up from CMStorm in that second round. Very Fnatic stylish, as we'll see where this one gets it. Look at that boost from Queen. She's looking to go aggressive straight off the bat, charging into the central area. There's 3 of them there, actually firing off a bullet into a teammate for encouragement maybe, as the 3 of them are storming through middle, looking to make a connection, but that actually looks like it's going to be Vilga to do that onto them. Finds one for a second solo, 1 more bullet, it's all it takes, gets it. And now CMStorm, this investment looks like it may have been a little bit of a mistake. And now 3v2. You can see that PP Bison from Rene. This could go well, and the fire has been released. Not going to quite catch the heels, though, of the remaining 2 Ts as Shifty is prowling through middle, Tech 9 in hand, and you can see her teammate is incredibly low. Who is that? It's going to be Kelly V, who's just forced to cower in a corner and look at Zaz. She's sneaking up behind, and Hiko. CMStorm, they've invested so heavily into this round. Your thoughts on that mid-push?
I actually think it was a good play by them. And on the other hand, BMG was very smart not to actually contest close mid that round, because obviously if they did, trying to fight that many pistols rushing you from the boost is very hard. So props to Vilga for holding off the Z middle area and not just pushing and dying. So yeah.
And then we're going to be seeing that clean eco now from CMStorm, reeling from that successful second round from BMG, and straight on the board with, we're going to go with Queena here, as you can see, charging forward the T's, looking to make another pressure down mid. They want to just try and get that bomb down as best they can, try and maybe take a couple of weapons, and they do, away from Giuliano's first. Zaz with a response, though, so very easy with the lack of armor from the T's. They're going to be like a knife through butter. Zaz nicely evading the flash. She's looking for more. She's going to get the pistol out. Not going to happen, as now 2v2, and the T's have done such a good job in getting into the site. Yeah,
I think that was well read by them just from the previous round. They noticed nobody was playing middle, so they just threw one flash in the mid. They rushed highway, and they were able to take the site, and they have the bomb down. And now it's a 1v1.
It's a 1v1. Rene, of course, has that armor advantage. Doesn't have the health advantage, though. And you can see now, going hunting. Rene's cautious, and she does get it. But such a successful round from CMStorm. The defuse is going to come in. Yes, it's a round from BMG, but that's a huge hit to their economy.
Yeah, CMStorm actually got the bomb planted. They killed almost every one of their rifles, and if they're able to string a couple more rounds, even if they don't win them, but if they're able to get a lot of kills, it will force BMG to start saving. You can already see their economy getting pretty low, and obviously with the op-bot, if CMStorm is able to start putting some rounds together, they will force BMG to start saving.
And now I really want to see Vilga with that AWP. It's been harnessed already. Her strength is alongside Sonya with it. As see, holding the middle. Looks like she's going to try the wallbang. Doesn't quite connect though. As Saz is going aggressive. There's 2 to find, and she might just do it. Not going to happen. Takes a big chunk out of Ivy though. 12 HP remaining. Now, this is... Are they kind of building towards the A side? I can see the bomb's on its way, and I can only see Juliana to receive.
Yeah, they got the early pick there, even with Ivy getting low. I actually think if they execute right now, all of BMG is pretty much out of place. They only have 2 there, and it should be a pretty solid execute for them.
Certainly should be. We'll see how that one plays out, though, as already Rene is coming around from Connector. Looks to try and find someone in middle. I think she will as well, as we are just going to take a short peer at that B site, because Sonya is lying in wait. 3 T's about to swarm the site, and she better have her insect repellent ready, because this is going to be a tough one to hold off. Flash is coming in perfectly, though. Nicely evaded. Doesn't stop the frag coming in, though. Shifty down. One pushing on the left. Maybe Kelly V to go down. Not going to happen. Gets the return frag, but still, it's a 3v3, and it can certainly go either way. There's now Ivy, just 8 HP. Somehow losing just 4 HP from when we last met her. And all of a sudden, another 2 frags. BMG having no problem. Queen, though, not going down without a fight. It's a 2v1. The bomb is free. Vilga ends it all. And that's 4-0. And the CMStorm yet to get off that starting line.
I think that actually was a smart play with them to go back to B. Unfortunately, their execute wasn't that properly timed. They actually took the site. But unfortunately, Sonya was able to turtle in there, and with not being able to kill her, she held them off for so long that the whole team was able to rotate, and they just could never break that barrier to get into the site.
And so now CMStorm again just going to be opted for a couple of nades and those pistols. And the beauty of Cash is that B site can be vulnerable to that push from the T's with just the pistols. But the flash and, of course, the nades that the CTs have invested in are going to make it awfully difficult to push into the site. Nice little drop flash over that barrel. And look at this. This is just going to be shooting fish in a barrel too already. Rene looking for the third, and what is going on? Oh, Kelly V, check your corners as the kills come in. Faith, what have you got for me? He has the frag, not going to be anything else though, as BMG pick up the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, they threw 1 pop flash while they were actually entering the site, and every single one of them was blind. I believe it was... I think it was Irene that was just, as you said, she was camping in that back left corner. You saw a girl run by her as well. So nice flash by whoever threw it, and well done to stop the rush.
Okay, boost time for Queen. Did this with a pistol before. Didn't work out too well, but now fully bought. This could go a whole other way. Vilga has made a presence known in middle, and actually that incendiary, we've seen a whole lot of incendiaries up towards that spot previously, and it's kind of effective, especially even if you use it in a kind of counter way and actually boost up on top of your own incendiary. It's crazy to see the way these Cash plays can be structured. Instead, though, it's going to be slow and steady to win this race. As Hika, what could the T side start considering to do in order to start maybe picking up that first round? I
would like to see them start going out middle. They're delaying middle, and Vilga just able to hold it with an op. They have middle right now, and they're not really doing anything with having control of it. Finally, we do see them pushing up highway, and now they have to make a decision to go A or go through the vents and split back to B. It looks like they're going to go B, and they should only find 1 there. They pulled the guy out of B because they killed the mid guy. The 1 guy from B actually rotated towards middle. So going B right now would be a good idea, I would think.
I think the same. And who is that lying in wait to receive this assault from the fully board up T's, or as best they can? CMStorm presenting themselves on the site. Sonya's trying to see if she can get away with it twice in that corner. I'm sure Kelly V's not going to fall for the same tricks again. Going to come in towards headshot. Not going to happen. She gets exactly that, as it's going to be a 1-for-1. Rene low, but not out of this one yet. The bomb is going to be going down courtesy of Ivy, and this is where the retake has to be formed. Nice nade from Queen. You can see already the T's have made that move towards B, and it seems to be playing out exactly as you called it, Hiko.
Yeah, I mean, it was well read by them. As I said, if you're able to actually, the only way you're only going to ever win a slow round on cash is if you kill the mid guy or girl and you actually wait around. It forces one of their B guys to come out and you can just execute later.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we are going to be saying guy a bit. It's just so default for us, and of course I'm sure they take no offense when we do say it, as we're going to be going into this round with a bit of celebration for CMStorm. They have managed to secure, the first round on the board for them. 5-1 is the score now, as we're for the first time going to be seeing BMG with a slightly damaged economy. And look at this pistol buy.
Yeah, one of almost every pistol. 5.7, USP,
nice
CZ,
bit of variation.
PT50.
Zaz then, P250 has made her way towards mid, but it looks like Faith is going to be trying to do as best she can to draw blood, and it's actually suddenly a 3v3. This is not necessarily a level playing field, but the numbers do represent that, and now Zaz looking to do damage with the PT50. Great connection with the bullets, not enough though, as Shifty has such a huge amount of firepower behind her. Could be bad though, one bullet is all it takes if she does get within that close range, and they have to see Shifty is relatively tagged. Nice work from Queen though, dispatching of Sonya. It's now Vilga and Zaz, make it just, Vilga gets one, and now you can see Zaz so very low, but the CTs have done a pretty respectable job there of holding off the Ts. The bomb did go down though, and so that's going to be CMStorm starting to stabilize. Yeah,
I would definitely consider that as a successful eco round. They 3-pushed B with 2 people camping in middle. They were able to clear out B. They got a quick AK to hopefully try to win the round for them. Unfortunately, CMStorm was able to hold off the site, and now with all the kills that BMG got though, if BMG wins this round, CMStorm will be very broke on money.
So this is an important one, and already Queen has started. She needs to go on. Great opener onto Giuliano, a player you highlighted already, saying is an incredibly strong presence with that AWP. And already numbers have leveled out, this time to favor the BMG side. What is your plan? Sonya, very aggressive play, looking to find Faith, and she's going to do just that. Famas v AK though, AK prevails, and now it's a 3v3. And where is that bomb going? Are they going to make a rotate for B here?
Although Sonya wasn't successful in doing what she did, that was the right play. You push B, it's a 3v3. If there's nobody there, you know you can all gamble towards middle and A. But it's because she did die, they are going to end up going B because she was the only player there. That
was the vulnerability. That's the course, the mistake you can make is if you overextend, you can be caught out and rotates can happen. Bomb goes down though, so the clock has been sliced in half, and now 3v3 made to 3v2 as Queen continuing to do fantastic work with that AWP. Picked up 2 already this round, maybe looking for another one. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets it now. The smokes do start raining out, but here comes the push. The CT's trying to retake this site, and Zaz actually making a good step towards it. As now a 2v2, AWP and AK versus those two. Actually, it's an AK and M4, so I can't say that. Zaz does get the frag though, and oh, Vilga gets it as well. That shouldn't have happened, but it did, and great play from BMG. Do they have the kit though? I think they don't. They're going to have to back away. No time, and CMStorm, it may not be the neatest way, but they do secure that 3rd round.
Yeah, BMG had a good retake idea. They smoked off the entrance to Checkers, and they were able to take the site. Unfortunately, because the smoke was well placed, the players from CMStorm had to peek from B main. And we just saw Vilga just clean them up. If they had a kit, that was a round win.
That was a round win. And you can see now they are starting to make an investment. Even Vilga on this slightly eco has opted to pick up that kit just in case the same situation does present itself. And look at this push from the CTs. There's a big stack of the 3 of them trying to catch the Ts off guard. Not going to happen though because they make themselves known, and of course the Ts are just going to back away from that one. And look at this. BMG, they're aggressive all across the map. And what perhaps is the kind of thought process behind this?
Well, actually, BMG tried pushing B their last eco round, and you saw this round, CMStorm was ready for it. They're still actually camping back towards T-spawn, so nice by them to actually adapt and not get caught by the same thing again.
It's so easy to do as well, and nice Shifty does take another BMG member down. They're going to be crumbling across the map as expected, but still Vilga gets that bomb loose before Queen responds, and I mean, that's just going to start leveling the playing field. And we're set to have a pretty good game in this one.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot closer than I thought it would be. CT-sided map, it's looking like CMStorm will probably win this round. 5-4 with BMG, having another gun round. And CMStorm is starting to rack up their money, and BMG needs to get back into this if they want a chance.
That's a nade. Oh, and she was so low. Shifty does manage to bring that round home, and if that frag had gone the other way, that could have been a very exciting clutch for Giuliano. Instead, though, we are going to be seeing that 4th round on the board. We are going to be seeing that kind of buy, and this time the AWP in the hands of Sonya again. So intriguing to see how this one plays out for them. Sonya, of course, that very strong AWP that we have yet to see too much of, actually. She's been pretty quiet so far in this game. Let's see as we kick off into this one. She's going to be going for that aggressive peek towards B. So effective if done correctly, and looks like the smoke is going to be counterintuitive, trying to back them up, maybe take their time and keep that site clear.
Yeah, something I've noticed is CMStorm is playing very, very passively. They're not opting to even contest middle early in the round. They're playing all of their spots really far back. Hopefully BMG will actually catch wind of that, and they're going to start being a little bit more aggressive. We saw them doing some pushes, and they weren't that successful with it. But, I mean, you can see CMStorm is sitting at the very, very back of almost every spot, and BMG should start capitalizing off it.
They certainly should, and I'm sure they will. There's now 57 seconds on that clock time ticking away, and it looks like CMStorm are starting to bring that bomb towards the A site, starting to orientate themselves, and perhaps now is the time BMG to start that rotate, start scouting out, trying to gather as much intel. Here comes the execute though, and those smokes are going to make it so very clear of what they plan to do, and suddenly Zaz has been boosted up by Giuliano. This is a prime spot for some frags though, as the flashes come in, it makes it all too difficult. CMStorm charging in, first frag drawn by Shifty. It's going to be an easy second, and that is how you open up a site. BMG crumble, and now even more beautiful boost from Ivy this time as the CMStorm prepare themselves for that potential retake.
Yeah, again, BMG is just sitting in the sites. They're not actually taking any map control. So when CMStorm is executing at A, they have two guys there, where they have still two people sitting in the B site, not really getting any information. And CMStorm is doing a good job just keeping them at bay.
And it's something to be recognized as Sonya does fall on the round, goes in the favor of CMStorm. They've managed to close that gap so very efficiently and so very stylishly. And you're right, BMG, the problem at the moment they seem to be having is that lack of aggression, that lack of willingness to pressure around the map. And so that's something we'll be sure to keep our eyes on as this game progresses. Economy-wise, we're going to be seeing BMG a little strapped for cash, not the same for CMStorm though, as again, Queen has been doing a great job. 11 frags on the board, top of the scoreboard for a team with that AWP. And I think let's talk a little bit about AWPs on cash. While we have a timeout, of course, we have some time to talk about it. First player that comes to mind when I talk about AWPs on cash, Kenny. Such an unusual playstyle. He's very aggressive, it feels. Just like exactly as we were talking about BMG needing to be more aggressive. Kenny seems to do something a bit different. Maybe you can enlighten me on that. Yeah,
I think we actually saw BMG buy an AWP, and they were going for an aggressive pick at B, but they actually pre-smoked B. So the girl who had the AWP was just sitting in the B site with her AWP, and unfortunately she wasn't able to actually use it aggressively. So she was playing a passive angle, which could work, but unfortunately they did go A that round. Now, obviously, the kind of the counter to that would be to AWP A, and they haven't actually tried to push A main with their AWP. I know they've pre-smoked it and they got a pop flash and they pushed through it. I think Zaz was successful that one round, but yeah, I mean, as I said, I would like to see BMG getting a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in their face, and I think that's what would make them win some rounds. Well,
let's hope they keep their headsets firmly on. Otherwise, you've just given them some fantastic advice there, Hiko. Get aggressive is the words from the master himself. And now talking about getting aggressive and considering it's cash, we've seen two sides of this coin. Have you ever seen, this kind of passive style of BMG work as a CT, or is it a necessity to go aggressive sometimes?
Actually, playing passive isn't that bad, and they are most of the time able to hold middle, which is kind of surprising that CMStorm is actually able to win so many rounds. Usually, if the CT side plays passive and they're able to hold middle, it's very, very hard for the terror side to execute because, as I said, like when you have middle control, you can't actually go through the vents anymore. Like if the CTs hold it, there's no splitting at B. They have to execute through the main site. So same thing that goes for A. If the CTs have control of middle, the terrorists cannot kind of sandwich the A site from highway, from the door, from a main. So it's hard to execute on a site like that, and unfortunately, BMG is just not able to finish rounds out.
Yeah, and these executes are certainly looking good for CMStorm. They've got the smokes down. There seems to be a whole lot of presence through main as opposed to Squeaky, and I always have this kind of interesting debate as to how many players you should commit to Squeaky. It's such a tight spot, can be held by just one man, and they seem to be prioritizing main a whole lot more over Squeaky. Is that normal, or do you sometimes see teams maybe more preferring to come from all angles? You've already highlighted highway, so
usually if you don't have anyone going up highway, it's very hard to go out the door because the person just holds for you from the highway and you can't even ever get out. So actually what we've been seeing is CMStorm, line up all their smokes. They have a really nice execute. They have all the smokes. They have a nice pop flash. And we saw that last run where BMG actually had a double head stack in the site. One pop flash came and she was completely blind. And unfortunately for, I think it was Zaz, the CMStorm players actually lined up and she just wasn't able to connect her bullets.
Yeah, she wasn't, and we are going to be getting back into game as soon as possible. I think the team's just taken a chance to strategize, perhaps, and maybe having some technical difficulties. I can see an admin there. Oh, but I do hear some items being bought in the background. Going to hear some support for the Allison team. Of course, the third and fourth place game is going to be played simultaneously to this one, just in the practice warm-up area. So that's going to be happening as well. I'm sure we can give you the result if that finishes before ours, to keep you posted on all the results. Of course, if you are looking for results and statistics, head on over to the hltv.org. That match does have the stats for you, and some credible stats, actually. As, I mean, we were highlighting Zaz before. I'm going to continue to do so, as she's really been a player to watch. And you said before, she is considered one of, if not the best, female player currently competing. 0.79 kills per round, pretty on point there. And we are just waiting for one computer to return to the game before we can kick this one off. And, I mean, it's just nice to be winding down with you, Hiko.
It really is. It's been a long day.
It's been a long 4 days. We had a great time these past 4 days just talking about CSGO. We're just submerged in CSGO, and it's nice to, just to hang out, just chilling, watching some CS to round out the week. Yeah,
female playing is obviously interesting as well. They have very unique styles of play, and sometimes seeing the way they actually do their executes and the way they do hold their sights, sometimes it actually gives you some nice insight into how to actually go about countering some things. And yeah.
Do you think there's the strategies they're using? I think they're based around strategies they've seen before. Are these guys really kind of creating their own? I think it's fair to assume that they've kind of looked towards the cream of the crop to build their strategies around it. I'm intrigued to know who they look up to. We'll find that one out when possible. But it is time to get back into game. We're into round 11 now, 5 apiece, and we are going to be seeing another shaky buy for BMG.
Yeah, we see, again, a couple 5.7s, a couple CZs, a P250 here.
Look at this. So this is a very aggressive push from BMG. They're obviously trying to just take some weapons out of CMStorm's hands. Shifty holding the perfect angle here, ready for Giuliano to make the move, and just toggle that X-ray so we can see just how cautious Shifty is being here. Well, he's going to put some fire at the toes of the CTs, forcing Giuliano to make a move and forcing her into the path of destruction. Is now eliminated, and another one for Shifty. Nice work already. 3 players down. Sonya has the element surprise. While you're holding that angle, though, so very vulnerable, and Queen punishes accordingly, and all onto Zaz. The only person to invest in armor this round. We'll see if that's going to get her any further than her teammates.
Yeah, and we've talked about how BMG, I think they need to get more aggressive, but at the same time, just walking into, the choke points is not the kind of aggression that they're looking to do. I'm expecting, hopefully, on some of these gun rounds, we actually are seeing a double op setup. Usually, when you have a team double opping, you put one at A, you put one at B, and you have 3 people stack middle to stop the early mid. However, CMStorm is really not going out middle, so let's see what they actually do with the double op.
Let's do just that. As looks like we're going to be seeing a mid-smoke lined up from Ivy. Over towards that connector area. Already, you can see the first blood has been drawn. This time, Vilga winning out on that AWP battle. 1v1 versus Queen. So, 4-5 now. Obviously, damage has been done as Sonya gets another one of those AWP frags across the map, rattling through Cash as now Giuliano's going aggressive. This is what you were asking for. This is exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, it's actually worth mentioning. BMG didn't pre-smoke A main this time. They pushed in. They pushed CMStorm back into essentially their spawn. And now CMStorm are just waiting out the smokes, trying to regather and figure out exactly where they want to go. And yeah, exactly. This is the aggression that BMG needs to do. They can't let CMStorm have the entire map. They're pushing everything, and they're stopping the map control.
Yeah, and we're seeing this kind of 3-2 split for the CTs. Those 2 players holding on B. In fact, there's a kind of a... It can be tough for them to rotate. You can see Sonya's positioning as well. It's going to be just on that vent area, and Shifty taking their time alongside CMStorm. 30 seconds on that clock now. They're going to have to start making a move towards the site now, Hiko. And I think they are going to commit towards B. Oh, Sonya missing a key vital shot. It's going to cost her life now as down and out. 4v3 as Rene's done it once. Can she do it again? She starts well, looking for a second as well. This could go well. It doesn't. Ivy levels the playing field. It's now a 3v2. CT's looking to do as much as they can. Bomb goes down now. 35 seconds thrown onto the clock. As now Shifty doesn't connect the bullet through the smoke, but it was so very close. Is that a defuse coming in? Shifty has no idea. Making the move with the pistol. Looking for the second. Giano falls. It's beautiful. Surely not the third. Has the AWP. Has the intention, but doesn't have the aim this time. Looking for the pistol now. Is Vilka pushing onto the side. Gets it. Beautiful from the German as they pick it up. And that's going to be a really strong round from CMStorm.
Usually, when you see somebody going through a smoke, 90% of the time they will not get the kill. Shifty walks through the smoke with her Glock, kills Zaz, kills the diffuser, and wins that 1v1 in the site. Really nice play by her, and obviously CMStorm is starting to run away with this now.
A masterclass in how to use that Glock. Beautiful. As now CMStorm, after starting so very slowly, are really starting to build up rounds and a lot of momentum as well, it feels. As they're starting to have so much control. I feel like some of that control is given to them, though, by BMG with this kind of lack of presence around the map. Giuliano, though, does draw blood first with that CZ. As look at that aggressive push from the CT. Let's go down, though. They kind of invested. Again, Zaz does favor this armor in the pistol rounds. No one else opts to pick it up. Just a couple of nades, P250, and a couple of pistols trying to find something, and they do. Wow, Zaz, such accuracy with that 5.7 as now 4v3. Zaz on the prowl. You can see already Vilga's health has been dropped so very heavily, and now we'll just watch that clock tick away as the T's look to gather resources and start making a move towards A. Nice play from Queen onto Vilga. CTs, of course, have managed to put a weapon in the hands of Zaz, and that's so integral to their success. Oh, Queen from behind. As Ivy goes down as well. Zaz wraps it up, and that was such a successful round from BMG. No problems there whatsoever. They bought so little and yet prevail.
Yeah, Zaz made a good decision that round. She was able to push the door, get the kill on the last girl pushing into the A site. And because Zaz didn't fall back, she was trying to appear like she was still in the door. But instead, she actually went through, got the AK, and was able to flank two people at the end there.
That's what we love to see, that lurk role being displayed there. And Hiko, you're a lurker yourself. It must feel good when you get those kind of successful pushes.
The feeling is great. Getting those kills in the back, so easy, but so crucial at the same time.
Yeah, and of course, I imagine it comes down to just mindset as well. We'll talk about that in a second, because already this push is going to be fast and furious. Look at the terrorists go. CMStorm looking to make an impact on this side, just walking through the smoke all the way. Look at these guys. They're making a charge, though. Rene with a double. Zaz is there as well. And all of a sudden, it's a 3v2. Ivy and Shifty have got to really step it up if they want to pick up the 8th. Bomb goes down. Now all of a sudden the pressure falls onto the shoulders of BMG. They want to retake this. They have the arsenal to do so as the incendiary is thrown out. Vilga with the AWP shot. It should all be said and done as now Ivy, you can't do it what Shifty did, surely, as Giuliano ensures that. And we're going to be seeing the playing field quite literally leveled to 7-7.
Uncharacteristic round from CMStorm there. They've been going really slow the entire half. They haven't been going out middle. They haven't been rushing anything. The first time they tried rushing B, probably thinking they could catch BMG off guard, but BMG was ready for it. They had the mollies, they had the smokes ready, and they just mowed him down going into the site. Yeah,
compliments to Rene there. I mean, she's been so consistent, in holding that site, and very kind of persistent. Doesn't rotate too easily, and that's exactly what you need when they do choose to push towards the B. Chants coming out from the crowd there for that third, fourth place game going on simultaneously to this one now. Last round of the half. We do see that double AWP setup that we know and love from BMG. We'll see how far it gets them. Oh, Ivy flashed off. Does manage to find cover just in the nick of time, though, as this is what we need to see, actually, as we are going to cut away to Vilga. This double AWP setup we were talking about. Now, you said you like to send, on the T side, like to send them to A and B and try and find that entry frag. For the CT side, where do you expect to see those AWPs?
If the CT is double AWPing, as I said, A and B as well. You have 3 people that go middle with rifles, and they're able to shut down the middle.
Okay, so that seems to be the case. You see Sonya holding on B, and actually, who was it? It was actually Vilga who has been taken down now. As you can see, Queen is setting up for that push towards a bomb in hand as well, and 2 CTs ready to receive. This has been a bit of a trouble for BMG in the past. Let's see if they can change things now. Smoke's coming out. Zaz knows exactly what's coming, and so preparing herself. She has 20 bullets. What can she do with them? As already, BMG sneaker pass, draws 1 for 1. That's not enough, though, for the defensive side, and this should be going the way of CMStorm if they play this right. Looking good, though. Giuliano with the pistol, caught in a corner, and costs her life, and so now 2v4. Sonya trying her best to close out the frag on Faith. Not going to happen, as Faith starting to pray that she can pick up this round. It's all on to Rene, and it should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. The final round should be going the way of CMStorm, unless, of course, Rene blows my mind. Not going to happen. 2 HP, no bullets remaining, and it's going to be 8-7 on the half.
Yeah, for the majority of that half, actually, CMStorm did the same variant of the same strat, probably 13 rounds of that half. They played very passively. They would hold middle, they would hold everything, and that late execute A was what was winning them most of their rounds. And BMG surprisingly just kind of let them have it. They didn't really adapt to stop that late A execute. And I mean, we see the Molotovs, the smokes, the flashes, and yeah, you know, well played half by CMStorm. Getting 8 rounds on T side is huge for Cash.
So with that really successful T side, it's going to be really interesting to see, of course, how this pistol goes. It's going to be integral to the success, especially for BMG. They need to pick this one up, and you can see opting for that full armor pickup from BMG. Just going to be trying to throw their bodies on towards this A site, and we'll see how far it gets them. Kelly V trying to take someone down. Not going to happen, though. Bullets nowhere near their head as Zaz gets an easy double, and that's a beautiful start for the T side as BMG looking to return the favor to CMStorm. Nice response from Shifty, though, but it's not going to be enough. The bomb goes down. Now all onto Shifty. What's your plan here? It's going to be pretty tough as the USP does connect. And oh my lord, Zaz going for the knife. She does! Absolutely murks Shifty. As that's going to be a great performance. And she's got a smile on her face as well.
I think that just speaks to BMG's confidence. Even after losing 8 rounds on T-side Cash, she still wants the knife. $1,500 now. She has $4,400 going into this round. Gets the MAC-10. She gets a couple of kills with that. She'll probably be sitting at around $5,000, $6,000 next round. She's pretty much set for the next 2 or 3 rounds, and she can buy whatever she wants.
Yeah, you get a whole lot of money for a frag with that MAC-10. Let's see if they can do it, though. They are trying towards this B-side. We said it's vulnerable, and it is, as already Shifty goes down. Ivy with the return with the P250, and they're just trying to find her in the smoke. They do, and that should be a very good sign for this assault. Already trying to get that bomb in. Queen is holding the angle, though. Just need 1 bullet to the brain to bring one of these terrorists down, but holding the angles beautifully. As the T-side know when not to show face. Kelly V going to be meeting her demise most definitely in the vent area. Zaz does the same onto Faith, and now Queen. It's not looking great. Just trying to find someone to go down with them. 3 MAC-10s in hand, all players on half HP. It's certainly not impossible. It's not looking likely. Good start, though. Gets one. Surely not going to get a second. So very close. 20 HP remaining. But that is going to be a relatively convincing round from the T's.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, Zaz right now is sitting at $7,350 going into the 3rd round. I wouldn't even be surprised if she keeps her MAC-10 again. She actually dropped it to one of her teammates and bought another MAC-10.
MAC-10 life.
Just really stacking up the money. The terror side is hard to stop if they have full nades and full mollies. You see a lot of times B executes with Molotovs, A executes with Molotovs, so it's going to be rough for CMStorm in this half.
It certainly is, and this should be an easy ramp pickup for BMG. I'd be worried if it wasn't. Actually, already Kenny V's done a pretty good job. Just taking one of them down. As 3 CTs remain. No money invested in this one. I certainly couldn't. As BMG looking to pick up that 10, start to get into double digits. As the bomb goes down and just 1 man remains. Oh, I said it. Oh, I was doing so well. As 1 player remains.
And gets cleaned up by Irene. So, I mean, you can just look at the economy right now of BMG. They all have $7,000, you know,
not again.
About average. I don't think that they'll keep it again. That would be...
They are!
Wow.
Okie dokie. BMG super confident in this one. Changing the meta somewhat by throwing in this quad MAC-10. We need to give this a name now.
We'll call it the BMG strat.
The BMG rush. Okay, right. I expect to see that on the Hiko stream. Okay, guys, it's the BMG MAC-10 strat. And look at it, it's not working out. This is why you shouldn't do it. Kelly V actually looking to level it out. Filka does exactly the same, though. Double for double. Where do they take it from here, though? 3v2 now, as Irene has been taken low. I've been calling her Rene. Thanks for correcting me there. It could be Irene, it could be Irene. Either way, Filka trying to push in the Russian player. new addition to the team, does manage to pick up another one. This is 3 so far. Not going to happen, though, as she goes down. No one else on her team picked it up. And finally, BMG are put in their place for that Mach 10 pickup.
All things considered, they were able to actually take the site pretty cleanly. I think they only lost 2 on the rush. So it was a 3v3 at one point. But unfortunately, having Mach 10s against people with M4s and armor, the M4 will kill you a lot faster than the Mach 10 will. And I mean, you just saw a lot of the Mach 10s just got cleaned up by the couple M4s that CMStorm had. So now, obviously, BMG full buy an op, and we'll see what they do with it.
I want to know what Juliana's going to do with that AWP. It's send a player on and watch. Zaz is at the top of the scoreboard. They're charging through mid. Beautiful little pop flash, trying to catch off one in connector as the incendiary comes in to try and stop the push, stop the rot. As there is just nades exchange from either side. You can see the CT's actually opting to throw a smoke way through the vent area to actually extinguish that incendiary on the other side. Intentional or not, it sounded cool.
It's actually interesting to point out, BMG is playing T-side the exact opposite CMStorm is. BMG has full middle control right now. CMStorm is not even contesting it at all. So if BMG is actually able to use the sandwich technique, we'll call it, and hit either A or B from all sides of the map, it'll be very hard for CMStorm to hold.
What kind of sandwich are we talking here? Like mustard or kind of ham?
Ham and cheese.
Oof, okay. Ham and cheese strategy is going to be brought to the front of this one as Sonia trying to find the pick. It's actually Giuliano to draw blood. Queen now down. It's going to be a 5v4. What's your plan now? Giuliano hungry for that second, and she's probably going to get it if they're not too careful. The CT's just holding the angles. There is that presence at truck, though, and Giuliano's aware of it. As Faith does get chunked down to just 33 points of health, and here comes Sonia trying to charge onto the scene. Great response from the CMStorm girls as they pick up 2. Quick response from BMG, though. It's going to be back and forth, to and fro, and as the dust settles, it's going to be a 2v2. Made 2v1 by Vilga coming up from behind. This is what Hiko loves, and he gets another one. Oh, I said he. Damn. Been doing so well. Either way, though, it's going to be 11-9. 21 rounds in, and BMG, there's just an air of confidence around these girls.
Yeah, I mean, again, BMG has middle control over the entire round. Even when CMStorm is rotating out of B, they actually decide to go through the truck area to A instead of going through the middle connector. So BMG has full reign to do whatever they want in middle. And I mean, you saw, they caught the person that plays highway off guard, and they were able to sandwich the A bomb site there.
Beautiful stuff. Zaz again, so good at these entry frags and so good at everything, it seems, as she is once again at that top of the scoreboard. Now, 4 CTs remain. They should be crumbling. Oh, Queen!
Ninja play.
Oh, Queen! Good catching them off guard. It could be a second. It is! And that was a glorious play. That's exactly what we like to see here in CS. Now, 3v3. Somehow this playing field feels a little too level as Irene gets caught out as well. What is happening? Caught with a smoke as in her hand, and now 3v2. Well, 3v2.5 as Shifty's health is so very low, 2 HP. And now, for some reason, somehow, CMStorm have managed to make this round winnable.
Yeah, I mean, you see CMStorm now, they know BMG is just rushing. They know BMG is not really showing respect, and CMStorm is actually playing in corners and hiding behind boxes, and BMG is not clearing it. If CMStorm wins this round, big props to Queen for sitting behind that box for so long, letting the majority of the other team pass, and killing 2 people in the back before they even realized what was happening.
Here we go, T-side. BMG maybe starting to have a little discussion in TS. Look, we are being a bit silly now. Let's regather our thoughts and really focus on the game in hand. Zaz, that's what we like to see. Faith now dropped into a 1v1 with Vilga. Vilga's health does not favor this situation, but she has armor, and it's going to be Vilga to pick it up, and BMG, you are lucky to secure that round. Really high-risk strategy from them. It does pay off, but still, I mean, if anything, that was just a great CT round, from CMStorm.
Yeah, as I said, they played very passively. They let BMG run by them, getting a couple kills in the back, getting those guns. Unfortunately, well played by Zaz at the end there in that 3v3 to get that double kill before she went down, and BMG was just able to close it off.
Okay, once again, seeing that CZ has been such a crucial pistol for a lot of teams in all tournaments, and now already Vilga has drawn blood. Team seems to be having no problem in these entry kills. It seems to be BMG's kind of style that they've kind of slipped into, is just entry frag and then push that site. Obviously, why change what works, as Irene is going to come into contact with a couple of those CTs in middle. It's actually going to be Giuliano to find them. again, you can see them on that double eco, trying to make a bit of an impact, and they do. Really strong play. Look at this from Ivy, pushing up aggressive, catching them off guard, and you can see, you talk about them hiding in corners. Again, these rounds just look so very close for CMStorm's ecos.
Yeah, I mean, CMStorm is letting BMG run into their crosshairs. That's all it is. BMG is, they're taking the map control, but they're doing it almost too fast. So CMStorm is getting prepared for it.
Juliana trying to make a move. It's a 2v2, made 2v1 though by Zaz. Queen, so little to play with, but neither does Giuliano. 11 points of health, not one bullet connecting in return as Queen falls, and the 13 round now on the board for BMG. CMStorm seem to be starting to run into some issues, of course. Their economy is going to give them just enough to pick up that double AWP.
And CMStorm actually did double save round there. They had 2 rounds where they had only pistols, so now we can see CMStorm is double AWPing. Hopefully they're going to do the 1A, 1B and shut down middle. They can't keep giving BMG middle control. It's not working out. BMG is taking advantage of that, and it looks finally they are kind of contesting middle this time.
And so, 13-9, 3 rounds away potentially from seeing BMG pick this one up, but CMStorm are looking to contest. Great start already. That double AWP setup brings home 1. Nets them a frag onto Zaz of all players as well. Very key frag already. As now the T side going to have a bit of a spanner in the works. You can see they're spreading themselves out, not committing to a site with that bomb, and Faith holding in vents.
What's so good about the double AWP setup is you only need one person to hold the A site, and you see that. Kelly V is actually solo at A. Everyone else is focused towards being mid. And you can see now finally CMStorm is finally able to actually shut down middle and deny BMG the map control and the ability to sandwich the B-bomb site through the vents.
I'm feeling a real contrast. Wow, the AWP shifty. Knew she was there as well. As Juliana levels it to a 2v2. But what I was going to say beforehand is you're seeing such a contrast between the way BMG structures their attack, or the T side, than how they did their defense. Like CT, they were so passive, and this aggressive play from the T just seems uncharacteristic of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So often you see it as now Kelly is going to get the frag now all onto Giuliano. Something she's more than capable of, but I don't know if she's aware of just how close Queen is to making this push. It's going to be AWP as well as that M4. Queen mops it up nicely, and that's going to be 14 on the board. Oh, sorry, no, tell a lie, 10. There we go, as CMStorm do hit double digits, and they need to close that gap and close it fast. Of course, 7 rounds now remaining, so make it 6, sorry, as we go on into this one.
Yeah, now we see CMStorm is in a pretty rough situation right now. They need to win this round. If they lose this round, their economy is completely broken. And they did keep both their ops, so they do still have the double op setup. It looks like we're actually going to see the same thing. 1A with the op, 1B with the op, and then they're actually opting to play 1 extra person there at both sites, just probably just to stop for the rush.
Hey, Kelly V. Left to her own devices over on A. I don't know how well that's going to pay out. Fortunately, it doesn't look like the T side are going to be paying her too much attention just yet. As you can see, that bomb loose in middle. Queen is there to receive them though, as Giuliano just preparing that smoke, lining up with the clouds, admiring the skyline. Let's look at that stack from the T side, Hiko. You can see them preparing for that execute, and it seems that the B players are so committed to that B side, they should be making a move now.
And this is the problem with when you don't have middle control. The B players have to stay in the site. They have no idea that all 5 players are towards the A side of the map, and they're going to be executing here on only 2 people with only backup from the guy that plays middle.
And this is so important. You've really highlighted the importance of mid control, and it's really being demonstrated right here in this game. And look at that. The T side are actually starting to crumble somehow, some way. The CTs have managed to make this work already. Looking to change the facts of that BMG. What is going on? Vilga just turns it on, picks up a double. In fact, is that a triple? I think it is. Nope, just 2 so far. As now it's a 2v2 getting carried away as the bomb goes in. Shifty, what have you got for us? AWP in hand. Ivy's on the prowl as well. You can see hungry for that third. Both these BMG players have picked up at least 1. Oh, Ivy check just underneath it. She's going to find Giuliano now all onto Vilga, but Shifty's got a scrap of health, does get it. Could this very well be a 4-frag round for Vilga? It's not going to happen. Ivy snatches her hopes and dreams away. It's going to be an AWP and a defuse for CMStorm.
Yeah, very smart play by Ivy there, not forcing the retake. She waited for her teammate. She went up very slowly, was able to kill the girl in the site, and won the 1v1 at the end to close off the round for their team.
So 13-11 is going to be that scoreline, and for the first time in what feels like a long time, we're going to be seeing BMG with this Tech 9 armor buy. Oh, actually, no, not necessarily armor. I just saw Giuliano assume we're going to see the team follow up. Instead, though, just going to be seeing that T side push. I can only assume we're going to be seeing a stack towards A here, Hiko. Because is that kind of the best move when you are on here on Cash? You've got that kind of B play. Instead, though, they're opting for A, and look at this already. Great positioning from the CTs. Haven't managed to catch too many out, though, as they're trying to use that smoke as best to their advantage, and Faith realizing it's best to get some bullets in that FAMAS USP. Not quite going to do the job in hand. Sonya, though, gets another one. Suddenly, 2 CTs down, and the bomb goes down. This is already a really strong round from BMG. Zaz makes it even more so, as another one is picked up, and now Ivy and Shifty, they have the weapons, they have the arsenal, and they get the frag. Shifty, a few centimeters to the right, and that would have been a great opening frag, but it's all alone. It looks like it's time to back away and clutch that orb to her chest.
Yeah, actually, I think Faith made a really good play there. She was spraying through her smoke. She had to reload. And unfortunately, Shifty lost her up. Anyway, Faith was forced to reload. She pushed through her smoke into A main. Nobody else was A main. All of the BMG girls were in the site. Unfortunately, she peeked a little too early and died to Zaz holding the A main. And BMG was able to win that Tech 9. Not even a force buy, just Tech 9 with no armor, pretty much. Yeah,
and I mean, I need to bring the scoreboard to your attention for those of you at home. 32 for Zaz, 26 for Vilga, real 2 top standout players for BMG. And when you have 2 players like that on a team, is that a statement about the others, or is that just how good Zaz and Vilga are?
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay. And now Sonya. Irene does get another one. Good play as the CTs start to crumble, and that's a really important round. Don't forget CMStorm already looking pretty shaky. P250 and FAMAS and CZ, it's really not the best economy at the 14th round.
And actually, CMStorm decided to force buy this round. They don't want to go for the tie. They're going for the win. You see P250 had armor, CZ had armor, FAMAS had low armor with flashes. So this is a big round for CMStorm.
It's so very big, and it's not gone their way. Shifty last. Girl standing. Sonya puts that to bed, 15-11. And I think they realize that this is going their way. Julianis, though, not showing any emotion, just keeping that calm, cool, collected vibe and waiting for the round to be over. And that's 16 on the board.
And as I just said, because CMStorm decided to full force buy last round, now they have very, very minimal anything to go into this round. It's going to take almost a miracle at this point to actually win this round. And they're deciding to just play a default setup. They're not really stacking anything. They're probably not going to get any aggressive. So I'm expecting BMG to just kind of run away with this now.
Say that, Kelly B's already started strong. And again from Faith, look at this. CMStorm picking up 2. And surely not another one. Juliana was not expecting that presence at Forklift. And now, oh my lord, it's happening. Zaz, you said it had to be a miracle, Hiko. Well, it looks like CMStorm are walking on water, because it looks like they're going to be picking this one up unless Zaz pulls something magical out of the hat. 12 HP remaining. She's going to throw out the incendiary. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be tickling the toes of Queen as she's forced him out into the open. Gets another one. Surely not Zaz. It's not going to happen. Shifty gets that one, and wow. CMStorm secure it.
And as I said, they would need to get aggressive, and Kelly V actually pushed the door, killed the one that was actually in the door, and Faith was turtling at the fence and was able to go 1-for-1 with BMG at the fence as well. And obviously, Queen pushed through the smoke, through the forklift, and killed one and almost killed out a second one in the back without them even knowing where she was. So very nicely played on their CMStorm like half eco round.
So can they do anything more? Is there any more left in the tank for the CMStorm side? Maybe it may appear not so, as maybe they should just stick to pistol rounds, considering how effective that was. I'm still kind of reeling from how well CMStorm did in that round. Right now, though, 15-12, and already BMG shaping up nicely on this B side. Kelly V finds a great frag onto Irene. Beautiful connection there. And now it's a 4v3. CMStorm looking to try and retake B. It's not an easy side to retake, Hiko.
No, it really isn't, especially when both the upper and the lower are smoked, and you have somebody holding the long flank. Zaz actually just died on the long flank.
Yeah, look at that one. It's going to be wrapped up. BMG secure 16, and they secure map 1 in this best of 3. One step closer to that final prize pot, as, of course, we are in the grand final of the Intel Challenge Katowice, and the girls are going to take a time to maybe look towards map number 2. Map 2 will, let me just remind myself, will be Nuke. And actually, that raises a whole barrel of questions. Actually, first up, of course, God, my brain is shutting down. It's been a long 4 or 5 days, hasn't it, Hiko? This is our last huzzah before we. I think we're going to take a well-deserved nap at some point tonight.
I am very well ready for a long nap.
A long nap. Are you going to kind of pop the cap up, just lean back, kick back?
I sleep in my hat, actually.
You do?
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, you heard it here first, guys. Hiko sleeps in his hat. This isn't actually a hat. This is just how your head is shaped.
Yeah, this is actually just my head.
Yeah, either way, though, guys, it's time for a very short break. We'll be back with more CS.